As per our tradition, let us start the program, our journey, with 3 Omkaras and prayer. I request Shrimati Padma Bhandarkar Didi to chant the prayer. Padma Didi.
Didi. Hansen Namaskara. Sahana vavatu sahanam bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma viddhishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi.
Dhanyavad Padma Didi. I just want to give a brief introduction of Manya Lakshmi Didi to all the participants. Just a minute. Manya Lakshmi Didi, born in Thrissur on 1st March 1936 and completed her studies, MSc, PhD and postdoctoral research, and worked as a professor of botany in Sri Padmavati Women's College, Tirupati, and microbiologist in Indian Agriculture Research Institute, New Delhi. Manya Lakshmi Didi joined Vivekananda Kendra, Kanyakumari in 1981 as Jeevan Rati, full-time worker, and became its joint general secretary and later its working president. After the passing away of the founder president of Vivekananda Kendra, Manya Eknath Ranade, she was unanimously elected as the All India President of Vivekananda Kendra. In the year 1984, she continued as its president till 1995. Now, she is working as the president, lifetime chairman of the Vivekananda Kendra Vedic Vision Foundation in Kodangaluru. As the president of Vivekananda Kendra, she has extensively toured the country, spreading the message of Swami Vivekananda, in addition to her duties as the president, giving form and content to Swami Vivekananda's ideal of social service as envisaged by Manya Eknath. In 1992, when Kendra organized a marathon year-long Vivekananda Bharata Parikrama, she participated in it for the full time of 353 days. In 1993, she represented Vivekananda Kendra at all the 3 major world parliaments of religions at Washington, Chicago, and Calcutta, and in 1995 at the World Hindu Conference at Durban, South Africa. In 1999, again she spoke at the World Parliament of Religions, Cape Town, South Africa. She has the unique honor of having participated in all the 10 major centenary celebrations connected with Swami Vivekananda's life. As a chairman of Vivekananda Kendra Vedic Vision Foundation, presently she is engaged in encouraging Vedic studies in different ways through promoting Sanskrit, publishing Vedic literature, conducting seminars, study classes, and so on. Manya Lakshmi Didi has been a prolific writer as the editor of Vivekananda Kendra Patrika and Yuva Bharati from 1982 to 1995. Some of her articles have been compiled as books: Snakes and Ladder, based on Bhagavad Gita, Sita Must Live, devoted to women, Vande Mataram, Patriotic Ideas, and several others in Malayalam. Manya Lakshmi Didi has been the recipient of many awards, the latest being Dharma Jyoti Puraskar by Sanatana Dharma Parishad, Calicut, and Vivekananda Vibhuti Award by Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Samsthana, Bangalore. Manya Didi is guiding us on this path. We are all very eager to listen to Manya Lakshmi Didi. To make this journey smooth, few requests to all of you. Please keep your phone silent and keep yourself mute also so that we can hear Manya Didi's words clearly. If possible, please open your cameras. After the talk, there will be a question answer session. So please put your questions in the chat box so that Didi can answer after her talk clearly. Thank you so much. Now I request Manya Lakshmi Didi to guide us about Amritha Parivar.
Brahmacharya Vrati Dandi Sarva Vedanta Pandita Srimad Viveka Yogi Mam Prachodayadu Sarvada. My greetings to all of you who are listening to me now on this very, very auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima. The topic which we are going to explore for the next probably 20 days or so is inspirations for Amritha Parivar from Bhagavad Gita. As we know, Bhagavad Gita is a milky ocean. Whatever you want, you can get from it if you know how to churn it properly with Shraddha. When Vivekananda Kendra put the seed of Amritha Parivar in our minds, I started thinking about it, and Gita being my favorite study book, I thought, why not I get some ideas from Bhagavad Gita. This is for the first time that somebody is churning Bhagavad Gita to get out of it clues how to develop your family into an Amrit Parivar. Today, we all know our families are dying families, Mrita Parivar. All sorts of diseases, disappointments, confusion, lack of understanding, misunderstanding. Hardly any family which can be called, oh, this is a very happy family. It's very, very rare. Everybody has some problem or other. And the question before us in this year of our Amritotsav, our country's Amrita Varsha, is how we can contribute individually and collectively as a family to uphold the idea of Amritatva, which is India's great contribution to the world. Then there exists some Amritatva, some immortal bliss in the hearts of every being. In Swamiji's words, each soul is potentially divine. Or in the words of the Veda Upanishads, Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi Ityadi. So, hidden in every being, there is a drop of Amritatva. But how to reach out to it and how to take it and make it part of our life, We don't know how to do that. Where is the mistake which we are committing so that our families have become bondages to us, not families which will release us from bondage and take us to the ultimate truth, ultimate goal in life. So, brooding over that, I thought, let me go through Bhagavad Gita. So, the first question is Bhagavad Gita, family. How can there be a family when two armies are facing each other, waiting for the bugle call to start their war? Where is the time to think of family, family principles, family bonding? No, no, no. It can't be. We can't find anything about family in Bhagavad Gita. That is what I too thought first when I approached Bhagavad Gita. Then suddenly it occurred to me, Ambatvam anusandharami Bhagavad Gita bhavadveshani. This is a wonderful phrase in the very first Dhyana Sloka. Amba. In the Dhyana Sloka, Bhagavad Gita is addressed as Amba, mother. When a mother is there, a family has to be there. Only a family can make a person. Family can be biological or otherwise. Only there is a family, there can be head a mother. So, there must be some principles for this human relationship in the Bhagavad Gita. Let me start churning Bhagavad Gita to find out from where we can pick up these principles which will make our families Amritha Parivar. When I started it, I was surprised. Almost in every chapter, we can find these pearls of wisdom. Sutre Manigana Iva. In Sri Krishna's words, we can get many a clue how to improve our family relationship. So, speaking about Amba, there is something special about Bhagavad Gita's Amba. She is Bhavadveshini. She is one who will release us from the bondage of samsara. Very rarely we can find a human mother who will hold our hand and say, "Oh, my child, don't fall into this mire of samsara. Try to get out of it." Very rarely. But actually, mothers are meant for that. In Lalita Sahasranama, we hear the very first stanza, Deva Karya Samudyata. Every woman, every father, including mother, they who are born in this Punya Bhumi of Bharat, they have got a special duty assigned to them. They have to be Deva Karya Samudya. It is their bounden duty as they develop their families also to guide them in such a way that they are released from bondage. So, mothers are supposed to be engaged in creating around them families where Deva Karya is carried out. Satya, Dharma, and the life according to Satya, Dharma, it becomes Deva Karya. When anything is away from Satya and Dharma, it cannot be Deva Karya at all. So, we have not even understood that every mother born under our Sanatana Dharma's flag, we have got a special duty. That is to become a Devakarya Samudyata. When we become Devakarya Samudyata, then we become not just a mother, we acquire the title of Srimata, and a Srimata, when she blossoms up, she becomes a Maharaji, then a Simhasaneshwari, revered and worshipped by all over the world. A typical example, you may wonder, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Sri Ramakrishna's consort, Sri Sharada Devi, is a wonderful example. Devakarya Samudyana. From where did she get all the knowledge? Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta. By Bhagavan's presence and constant attention, she could develop all those wonderful qualities from within herself. And she started being addressed as Holy Mother. And she became the head of literally the head of the Ramakrishna ashram and mission. So it is possible. So every lady should contemplate upon this. I have been given a sacred duty assigned to me. So what is it I can pass on to my children? Because only a mother can pass on the magnificent Advaita thought or life to their children through a variety of her actions. Love, concern, Valsalya, Tyaga, Seva. Innumerable are the ways in which a mother can pass on a great thought, a great culture to their children. So now we understand where we have failed. None of us have been able to emulate what Ma Sharda has put before us. So, Amba is the central point which gives us an idea that there may be family advices, principles, and norms hidden in the echoes of Sri Krishna. Then, of course, how to start searching for it? So, brooding over the thought, suddenly I remembered Swami Vivekananda during one of his wanderings in the Himalayas. Once he was meditating somewhere, suddenly he got up and said, "Oh my, today I had a wonderful revelation." What was the revelation? Revelation. What was it? Microcosm and macrocosm are made on the same plan. What is there in a Vyashti is the same in the Samashti. So, the Vyashti and Samashti are joined together by their very being itself. They are built on the same plan. So they have to execute the same plan. They have only to discover the Vyashti, has to discover the Samashti within them. Vyashti is the dying path. Samashti is the Amritatva. So beautiful. That thought made me make my search more intense. So the central point of Amritha Parivar is to discover this Punya Tirtha of Amritatva, of Amrita in our families and rear it. Try to bring it in as many ways as possible in all our activities, thinking, feeling, in everything. Just as when a tree is showing signs of decaying, we prune it, and old twigs, old branches are removed, and the tree rejuvenates itself with a new life and a new vigor. In the same way, it is time we, holding on to the Sanatana Dharma, we prune our thoughts, words, and deeds so that the dying parts are left out and Amritatva, Amar Jyoti, starts working within us. So, from where do we start understanding the scope of our family? From the Vedic seers onwards, they have said, see, Creator is the father of all, and his creative power, the Shakti. So, the first parents are Creator and the creative power. And the beautiful sloka, Mata cha Parvati Devi, Pita Devo Maheshwara, Bandhavasya Bhaktascha, Sodesho Bhuvanatraya. That is the Amrit Parivar, the first Amrit Parivar, which we know is the Parivar of Shiva and Parvati. And all the Shiva Bhaktas are together, and the whole world itself. So, what we have to do is to elevate ourselves. It's a wonderful elevator. This sloka, where we are told our real father and mother are Shiva and Parvati, and the whole universe is our family. Sodesho Bhuvanatrayam. So, what we have to do is to, from this Veshti level, elevate ourselves to the Samashti level. So it follows that when we have to link up Veshti and Samashti, we have to work not from the dying paraphernalia around us, but from the undying spirit within us, the Atma. So from the Atmic level, we should start working. Through the Atmic level, we should be able to look at everything else. Sarva Bhutantaratma. Bhagavan is the Atma in every Bhuta. Just like Kapila Vasudeva tells Mother Devahuti, Adhamam Sarva Bhuteshu Tatmanam Kritalayam Arthayed Dhanamanabhyam Maitriya Abhinna Chakshusha. Mother, you develop an Abhinna Chakshu. No differentiation at all from I, mine, you, yours. And then understand it is your son, myself, who is the resident of all the jivas. Therefore, where you have to give respect, give respect. Where you have to show mercy, give mercy. Where you have to give charity, do that. But everything with this thought in mind, that Sarva Bhutantaratma, myself, is the same. So that Atmic level, we have to bring into our families. Actually, in good old days, in India, we had all our joint families on. In the joint families, the head of the family, he looked equally well on all the participants, maybe sisters, children, brothers, children, cousins, children. We all stayed together, enjoyed the wellness and welfare and everything, fortune, everything enjoyed together. But slowly, slowly, selfish motivations entered, and we started bringing this Bheda Bhava. I, my, you, yours, and put a wall in between. With the result, what happened? The Atmic family broke up into atomic families. Today we have atomic families. Husband, wife, children. No intruder. We cannot tolerate an intruder. We don't want to share our wellness or prosperity with the poor members in our family. We'll pretend not to see them. At the most, when a marriage comes, we may give a present. Otherwise, to understand and appreciate their program difficulties and share your wellness and welfare with them, that doesn't come into our mind at all. So Sri Krishna, when he talks later in the 3rd chapter, we will find he uses a very beautiful concept. Parasparam bhavayanta shreya paramavapsyatha. If you want the shreya, the welfare, the wellness, parasparam bhavayanta, we have to develop a parasparya. So in all the talks succeeding, you will find that word coming again and again and again. Parasparya. Parasparya. There is no other word can replace it. At the most, we can say interconnectedness, interrelatedness, interdependence, modern scientific expressions. But Parasparya is something different. Parasparya includes the Atmic understanding, which comes as love. The Atmic understanding, which makes you undertake works, service, etc., or love. And love, sacrifice, service, LSS. Sacrifice, yours, nothing is our own. Idam na mama. So, ready to sacrifice that. Because this Atma doesn't need all this at all. It is an undying principle in me. So, what do I need all these dying things, accumulation of dying things around? No, I don't need. So, this sort of this sangatva, then service, dhanamana bhyam, in whatever way, can I help you? Can I be of service to you? That should be our constant repetition. How to help another. Maybe a kind word. They say, when people are going to commit suicide, if you talk to them just for 5-6 minutes, if you can divert their attention from the intent on dying, you may be able to help them. So, we will understand this parasparya through this love rooted in the awareness of Atmic oneness. Then, renunciation, tyaga, total eradication of selfish motivations. And lastly, service of others, again, seeing oneself in them. So, in a very important step to convert our Mrita family into Amrita family, we have to cultivate this sort of a threefold motivations: loving, serving, and giving up the unwanted. So when these principles get established in us, surprisingly, all the confusions that had been giving you so much of unhappiness, everything slowly disappears. Just as the sun starts rising, the clouds dissolve away. In the same way, we will find all the confusion in our minds, they start disappearing. So remember, when we take up the 3rd chapter, we will dwell on it more. Now we will remember this parasparya and the content of parasparya as love, sacrifice, and service. So, suppose it is not there, what will happen? That is exactly what happened, which led to Bhagavad Gita. What happens in the absence of such a wholesome understanding is the first lesson imparted by Maharshi Vedavyasa through the very first sloka of Bhagavad Gita. Dhritarashtra uvacha, dharma kshetre kurukshetre, samaveta yuvasava, mamaka mandavasyeva, kim ahurvada sanjaya. Through this anxiety expressed by the blind king regarding the welfare of his children especially, That was the reason for the downfall of a reputed royal family. And that is brought to our notice through the very first. So remember, is there a family or not? Yes. When the head of the family starts becoming partial, my importance to my family, neglecting the others, we are already implanting the seeds of dissolution, decay, and finally, probably like the Kurukshetra war. What happened actually after the death of Pandu, and when Kundi was brought to the palace with the children by the Maharshis, the king should immediately have recognized them as part of the royal family, treated them like his own children. 101 are there, another 5. It doesn't matter at all. Should have made them feel that they are one with the royal family. No. Thanks to the bad intentions of Duryodhana and his brothers and uncle, so much of hurt and humiliation were dumped on these children, beautiful children, 5 children. With the result, slowly, prejudices, anger, hurt, humiliation start building up in each one of them, concentrating in Bhima. So finally, what has happened? It came to a stage when they could stand it no more strength to stand this hurt and humiliation. Finally, we see it is ending up in the Mahabharata war. So, Sri Krishna's address on this point that nobody should go through such a tragedy again. So, keeping Arjuna in front, Krishna starts explaining the importance of Amritatva, importance of Amrita family, and how he should get out of the mire of samsara. So that is what we find the whole Gita, the first chapter full of Arjuna identifying with the Mrita part of the family, I, mine, and losing himself in that confusion. It comes as anger, it comes as dukkha, it comes as inability to hold himself, inability to do the dharmic war. In so many ways it comes on to Arjuna. And finally, as we go to the chapters, we will learn about it more and more. So, to remove this from Arjuna's mind, Sri Krishna postulates the universe family. How he is not an individual, he is not a micro unit, he is part of a macro universe, the cosmos. Cosmos is the real family. We are wrongly identifying ourselves with this chota family, chota interest, all our foolish, stupid reactions to things around us. As the vision of the universe family unfolds itself, one realizes the importance of Parasparya. When Sri Krishna starts telling about it, we understand how important for this understanding of the Parasparya. So now we will leave the Gita for some time and we will try to understand the importance of this Parasparya in the life in and around us. Let us see. Let us take our own life. What is it? Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, mind, intellect, they all work in such beautiful Parasparya. There is no confusion. What I see, it comes as a vision, the heart understands, heart says, nowhere is there confusion. Nowhere is there a blockade. No angiogram in between. So we find that even within ourselves, we can think, oh, there are 5 important families are there within me. The Indriyas, they contact with the outside, and they work in such coordination. When a mosquito comes and sits, there is no need to pass a resolution or anything like that. The heart immediately goes and removes it from you. So, similarly, without our knowledge, so much of parasparya is there in ourselves. So, our organs of knowledge, organs of action, mind, intellect, they are working in a beautifully coordinated manner. Not only that, there are so many other families within us. Our digestive system, excretory system, respiratory system, skeletal system, muscular system, all of them are made in such beautiful coordinated way. There is no confusion at all. And they behave as though they have been ordained. They have been trained to do the right thing in the right way, in the right time. There is an absolute precision, absolute coordination to keep our body healthy and beautiful. Not only that, go into the muscle cell, neuron cell, or blood cell, any other cell. Each cell has its own pattern, its own family inside. For a cell has mitochondria, chromosomes, nucleus, protoplasm. Each cell has all this. In all of them is there a life element, life principle. But none of them say, no, I am separate. I will not work with you. When a cell does like that, we know what will happen. It will lead to cancerous growth. So, to keep up this parasparya, we have to be very careful that we look after the cells, the tissues, the systems, the various aspects of our life in a perfect coordinated manner. For that only, the Sanatana Dharmic tradition of living, the life principles were enunciated by our seers. Get up early in the morning, have this, do this, do this. All this, do this and don't do this, do's and don'ts kept our things running in a perfect coordinated manner. And that is how the man stands. Then we sit inside. What about outside? Take outside. Look at a tree. Tree has its root. Maybe we can consider it as a mother. The trunk as a father. The twigs are the sons and daughters. On them, the grandchildren come, the flowers and the fruits. And the roots absorb the water. Leaves make the food. They mix up together and reach it to each and every cell in the plant. What a parasparya. What a coordination. What a beautiful surrender of personal and getting on to the impersonal. From the ephemeral to the eternal. It is how everything. Then there is a group of trees together stand as a forest, group of animals. Then look up, the stars, the planets, sun, moon, all of them, they work in their own orbit, in their own way, without any variation in the rhythm. So, that because that parasparya, sun, if he decides, I am not going to come up in the morning, in Kanyakumari, there won't be any visitors. The sun doesn't come up in the morning. The Suryodaya in Kanyakumari will not be attractive. Suryastamana will not be attractive, isn't it? So everyone except this foolish man, stupid man, we can say, everyone else is aware of their importance as a unit of the whole. That is what we are lacking. So even inside and outside, we find this sort of a very beautiful coordination and cooperation. Now, so this is the expanding awareness. So slowly we are taking this out. So with this expanding awareness, if we look at our life, where is the I, the egoistic I am the doer, I must get this, I have given you this. What foolish thoughts we are entertaining day in and day night and spoiling our lives, isn't it? So, with our minds made expansive through this sort of a mega thinking, and also made humble. When we stand before the macrocosm, when we stand before the sea, we feel a humility, a humbleness. So, expansion on one side and humility within. With this, we try to read Bhagavad Gita, understand Krishna's words. We will find a new awareness of the whole as we are part of it. And all the unwanted things will start dropping away from us. The dying particles, they get dropped up, and more life-sustaining knowledge enter into us. And when our thoughts are centered like this, even our cells will get the message, our tissues will get the message, our organs will get the message. So now you know why we have created so many divine thoughts in our Hindu tradition. The one who restores us back to health, the Nundari. One who gives us the beautiful words and their connotations of Saraswati. One who looks after the welfare of my entire family, Mahalakshmi. The one who looks after the family relationships, Durga, Devi, Bhagavati. And from top to bottom, connecting us with the whole universe, is that Mahavishnu himself. So, even though Arjuna had learned so much of Vedas and Upanishads and everything, such an expansive view he did not have. With the result, the mind became contracted. So many unwanted thoughts came to his mind. Gandivam samsade hasta tvakchaiva parideshyate. That is what happens to us also. When we become small and contracted, you must remember Swamiji's words here. Expansion is life. Contraction is death. Love is expansion. Hatred is death. Knowledge is expansion. Ignorance is death. All of them such beautifully illustrates that we are not these small, micro, atomic things, but we are that magnificent, atmic individuals. So this is the introduction. This awareness we must all cultivate. There is one full week for us to think of these expansive, magnificent ideas, so that with this in our hand, with this torchlight, we will open up the Bhagavad Gita and to see what more we can absorb from that to make our life Amritha Tulya, Amritha Parivar. So let this first day's thought will be expansion is life, contraction is death. Find out within ourselves where we are shrinking, where we have to give love in an expansive way. You say, no, this is my daughter, that is my daughter-in-law. This is my son, this is my son-in-law. This is my father, this is my father-in-law. This is my mother, this is my mother. So many ways we shrink. Finally, by the time we are old, there is nobody to look after us, nobody to care for us. We are put into some old age homes where you suffer. So let not that tragedy happens to us. So let us all become part of the Amritha Parivar. And this will be the greatest message Indians, we Hindus can give to the world at large. Srinvantu Vishve Amridasya Putraha Ayedhamani Divyani Tastu Vedaham Adyam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasat Parasta Tameva Viditva Atimrityumedi Nanya Pantha Vidyate Ayanaya. Namaskar to everybody.
Dhanyavad, Didi. I thank Mani Lakshmi Didi for giving us the knowledge, the introduction about Amritha Parivar. We are very eager to listen to all the lectures by Mani Lakshmi Didi. We are waiting. We will be waiting for the lectures. I request all the participants, if you have any questions, please come forward and ask Didi. Didi, I am having one question. I just want to know more about Sarva Bhutantaratma. You mentioned it. I just want a little bit more about that.
What do you understand by E is equal to MC squared?
Not knowing Didi. Energy is equal to
E is equal to MC squared. All that we find as matter has as its ultimate fundamental unit energy.
energy.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So whatever we find, Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam, there is not a single thing in this universe which is not permeated by that divine presence.
Thank you, Didi. Any questions?
On this Guru Purnima day, it is very nice to listen to Lakshmi Didi. Thank you very much.